What's going on, beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing excellent today. I am Carrington Brown, your relationship expert. And today what I want to do is I want to give you guys the 7 steps for breaking limiting beliefs, right? One of the things that I always tell my clients, and just people in general, is that the life that you create for yourself is an external expression of internal beliefs. Therefore, the life that you're building, that you're living, that you're experiencing right now is an expression of what you actually believe that you're deserving of experiencing in your life, right? And so what we're going to do once again today is go over the 7 steps for breaking these limiting beliefs. And the reason why that's so important is, yes, because you deserve a bigger and better life, but you can't get that until you experience or get past the limiting beliefs that you have. But in partnership with that is this: when we look at relationships, when we look at life experiences, when we look at the plan and the order and the design that God has for your life, you cannot max that out unless you see yourself as who God says you are. All right. So let's go ahead and go through these 7 steps so we can get you on the right track, right? So step number 1 for breaking limiting beliefs is recognize that they are there. For many of us, the reason why we're continuously battling limiting beliefs is because we won't even take the time to recognize they're there. Oftentimes in the world that we live in, the culture that we live in, the society that we live in, like admitting fault, admitting that there's something wrong with me. Like there's a level of pressure to not do that. There's a level of pressure to keep things to yourself. And it's like, it's not how it works. And so in order for you to actually get past something, you have to first recognize that that something is actually there. Step number 2 is recognize why you need to change this, right? So not only do you need to recognize that this thing is here, but why do I need to change this? How is this affecting my life? What is this hindering me from doing, right? And the reason why we want to do that is because if you're a client of mine and I'm going over, the limiting beliefs that you have and talking about why you need to change them, that'll affect you. Like you'll hear me, but until you within yourself say, hey, I need to change this because of this, then what I say really doesn't matter as much, right? So you yourself have to come in agreement with the fact and the truth that, I need to change these limiting beliefs because of how they are affecting me. Step number 3 is you got to recognize who will benefit from you changing this, right? So as a result of you changing these limiting beliefs, whose life will be changed or impacted as a result of that outside of you, right? Because we know your life will be changed. But if you have kids, their life can be changed. If you're in a relationship or have a spouse, his or her life will be changed. Friends, family member that you connect with on a consistent basis, like their life will be changed. Why? Because as a result of you shifting these limiting beliefs and getting them out of you, you're going to create a bigger, beautiful, more amazing life for yourself, which opens up the door for them to experience and be exposed to probably a new level of success, new level or a new example of what relationships look like. And so there are many people whose life will be impacted positively as a result of you changing your limiting beliefs and actually getting to the point where you see yourself as who God says you actually are. Step number 4 is you want to pinpoint what triggers those beliefs, right? So there are experiences that we've gone through that trigger our belief, but then as a result of those experiences sitting in our subconscious mind, when we experience things on a daily or a weekly basis, that thing reminds us of the primary or foundational experience, which triggers the belief. So we want to be able to pinpoint what triggers the belief, because if we're not able to pinpoint what triggers the belief, then we can't actually fix this thing. So step number 5 is you want to observe or recognize what are the feelings or fears created from this belief, right? When this trigger happens and this belief comes up, what are the feelings that follow that belief? Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it insecurity? Is it depression? Like, what are the feelings that result from experiencing this belief or this belief pop up? Number 6, what you want to do is after you recognize those feelings, after you recognize the fears, after you recognize the trigger, you want to create intentional action steps that change how you experience the trigger. So this is what I mean by that. Perspective is everything. Therefore, I experience things based on the lens that I process them through. Right? So in order for you to change the limiting beliefs, if you're a client of mine, I'm about affirmation. Yeah, I'm about changing your relationship with your past, changing your perspective. And the reason why I'm about changing your perspective is because when you change your perspective, you navigate it differently. And so what you have to do from an intentional action point is, 1, create you some intentional affirmations based on these experiences or these limiting beliefs and the experiences that trigger them. 2, you want to consistently recite these affirmations. 3, you want to change your relationship with the past or with these experiences, right? From a perspective of changing your perspective, changing how you see it. A lot of times we as people, when we go through things, we see us as the problem. Hey, that was my fault. This is my fault. Da, da, da. We point the finger at us. And then a lot of times, I would say about 95% of the time, it has nothing to do with anything being wrong with us, and more so to do with just people making decisions that they feel within themselves is the best decision, which is oftentimes the wrong decision for us. And so we have to stop seeing and blaming ourselves for the decisions that other people make. But then after changing that perspective and that relationship, we then have to look at this list of affirmation that we created, and we have to start taking action that looks like these affirmations. Because if we take action that looks and aligns with these affirmations, then we're going to start bearing fruit and reaping results that look like these affirmations. And that's what we want to do. Right? So once again, step number 6 is you want to create intentional action steps and change how you experience the trigger. And then step number 7 is this. You want to assess your results and adjust. Right? We're not about to just be doing stuff and not getting a result. So you want to take about a week and do this thing on a consistent basis. At the end of that week, you assess, hey, was I better? Did I experience this different? Was I as triggered? Did I battle with this thought or this feeling as often as I normally did, or more or less? And you want to assess it, because if after assessing it, the solution is, or the result is, I experienced less anxiety. I was less angry. I was less sad. This experience, this triggered me less. Normally, because I experienced this thing every day, instead of experiencing the feelings or the thoughts every day, it was just 3 days out of the 7 days as progress. And so if we assess the progress or the results and we see as progress, let's keep doing it. If we assess the results and it's like nothing changed, then we want to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, okay, cool. So nothing has changed after applying these things. Let me find some different tools or different strategies to actually apply to see if these can work better for me. All right. So there you go, beautiful people. Those are the 7 steps for breaking limiting beliefs. And once again, this is important for everybody, because the life that you create for yourself is an expression of is an external expression, of your internal beliefs. Therefore, in order for you to create and experience the life that God designed and ordained you to live, you have to see yourself and believe that you are worthy and deserving of that life. Not because you're just this amazing person, but more so because Jesus Christ died on the cross for you and he chose you. All right. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you know somebody that need to hear this, go ahead and share that thing with them. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. If you ain't already, go ahead, subscribe, and click the notification button so that every time I drop a video, you know it, all right? Also, if you don't already, follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at TheCarringtonBrown. Now, hey, listen, if this 7 steps for adjusting your limiting beliefs or breaking your limiting beliefs really stuck out to you, and you maybe have been trying to do this, but been struggling and challenging, click the link in the description box below. Let's schedule a free call, right? You don't have to fight this battle yourself. You can easily jump on a call with me. We can put a plan in place to get you on track, to get into the other side of these things, plus creating what you're supposed to be creating in this world, all right? So once again, click the link in the description box below. Schedule a free call with your boy, and let's talk about it, all right? Because you deserve a phenomenal life, but just because you deserve it, or even because you desire it, don't mean that you're going to experience it, all right? So let's make sure that you are who you need to be, how you need to be, where you need to be to actually experience that thing. Love y'all so much. I will talk to y'all soon. Peace out.